Greetings to you wherever you are in this world. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm back with you tonight with Kicking It on the Chase with Chelle. And so, as I have mentioned previously, until I get the channel built up, I'm just going to be reading some information that could possibly help you, you know. And then once we get the channel built up, I won't be reading information. What I will do, though, is we'll just talk about stuff. But the theme song that I chose for this week was Fix Your Wagon. So hopefully, if anybody that's tuning in now, hopefully you listen to that song because it's pretty funny. But anyway, what I'm going to do is talk about, give you some tips on social etiquette. So I'm gonna talk to the guys first, and then I'm gonna talk to the girls. So I'm gonna talk to you both, but I'm gonna give some tips for the single men first, and then I'm gonna give the tips for the single ladies. And so it's a good idea for you both to be able to hear what it is that I have to say. To give you some ideas that maybe you already know, but just to give you some ideas. Uh, so you can work toward being successful. I really want this channel to turn into an opportunity for people to be able to meet each other from all over the world, and discuss what's going on in their part of the world. It might be an opportunity for you to meet someone special in your life. But then also it's for adults, parents also, might talk about some issues related to parenting, one weekend. So I'm leaving the channel. I'm going to leave it open for people to discuss whatever it is they want to discuss, but I just want it to be done in a tasteful way. But at any rate, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some social etiquette tips for single men. When you start dating, be punctual, arrive on time or slightly early for dates. That's important because, sometimes when you're late for a date, the person might think that, hey, well, maybe they're not going to come, bringing on anxiety and stuff like that. So, or if you're not going to be on time, just call and tell the person I'm running a few minutes late so they know that you're going to still be coming. Dress appropriately. Choose attire that suits the occasion and shows you put in, thought into your appearance. When you're going on a date, you want to look nice, whatever it is, whether it's, casual or it's dress up. You want to be put together so that the person that you're getting ready to take out knows that you put some effort into yourself. Greet with a smile. It sets a positive tone and makes your date feel welcome. Avoid distractions. Put away your phone and give your date your full attention. That's important because, people, if you pull out your phone and you start scrolling through it and stuff like that, people are going to think that maybe you have somebody else in your life that you feel was more important. And so you're just trying to stay in communication with them. So be cautious of that. Okay. Compliment sincerely. Compliment something you genuinely appreciate about your date's appearance or personality. I know that sounds corny, but a lot of people don't hand out compliments, or if they do, it might not be it might not be an appropriate compliment. So, just think about that. Mind your manners. And we all know we're supposed to mind our manners. Use please, thank you, and excuse me appropriately. Nobody's saying go over the top with it, but when it's appropriate, just show that you have some sort of politeness about yourself. Hold doors open. A small gesture that shows respect and courtesy to a woman. A woman that's dating a guy or whatever, she wants to feel special when she's with him. So if you open the door for her, the little things, opening the door for her, that'll make her feel really special, like you're really being thoughtful. Maintain eye contact. It conveys confidence and shows you've engaged in conversation. My nose is itching. Sorry, y'all. Oh, sorry. Let me read that again. Maintain eye contact. It conveys confidence and shows you've engaged in the conversation, that you're engaged in the conversation. Respect personal space. Be mindful of physical boundaries and comfort levels. So don't be too handsy when you first meet, just kind of be real subtle with it, Don't just overdo it. Nobody's saying don't touch, but just don't overdo it, because some people might not be comfortable with that till you get to know each other, Don't rush physical contact. Let it happen naturally and at a pace comfortable for both parties. So just kind of try if you can hold off. But sometimes I understand it gets hot and heavy, but that's just something to think about. Be mindful of personal hygiene. Please don't go on a date and you are not fresh. Don't do that. That's the worst thing you could do. Ensure you're clean, well-groomed, and smell pleasant. I mean, we want to smell a guy that with some nice cologne or something like that. Now, don't overdo the cologne, where everybody can smell your cologne. Just enough, just enough, just a little. So that if you're close or whatever, she's trying to whispering in your ear or something like that, discreetly, she can smell, that's the nice scent of the cologne. Stay positive. Avoid complaining excessively or being overly negative. You don't want to go on a date and be complaining. That's not good. That could be perceived badly. So just think about that. Ask open-ended questions. Encourage meaningful conversation by asking questions that require more than a yes or a no answer. Guys, you got to really open yourself up, and be able to communicate, because women, we want to hear what you're talking about. So be willing to do that. Share about yourself. Be open and authentic about your own interests and experiences. Okay, but don't say too much though. But just say enough, But don't be telling everything to start off, because you don't want to run somebody off when thinking that you're dysfunctional. So watch that. Respect dietary preferences. Ask about any allergies or dietary restrictions before choosing a restaurant. Okay, that's a good one. And then don't choose no old nasty restaurant, Make sure that, you're taking somebody somewhere where the restaurant is clean and looks decent, Offer to pay. It's a kind gesture, though. Be willing to split, your date be willing to split the bill if your date prefers, okay? Express gratitude. Thank your date for their time and company. Follow up. Send a message after the date expressing that you enjoyed the time together. Well, that's if you enjoyed the time together. So now watch that, because if you're not really interested in the person, don't drag them along. Don't do that. Just maybe send a text that says thanks for the date and end it like that. Don't say anything else. If that's not the type of person that you're going to want to spend time with, don't drag them along. That's just wrong to do that. Okay, guys? Be honest. Be upfront about your intentions and feelings. That's very important. That's what I was just talking about. Don't drag somebody along. And don't just want to be with somebody just to do them in, have intercourse or something like that with them. And then, you're not going to invest time in them, because that's not right either. Okay. Respect differences. Acknowledge that people have different perspectives and beliefs. Avoid controversial topics. Steer clear of sensitive subjects like politics or religion in the early stages, because people will fall out and argue with each other over politics. So be careful, because everybody doesn't have the same viewpoint when it comes to politics or religion. Get to know that person before you just start hacking away at with those kinds of conversations. Show empathy. Be understanding and supportive of your date's feelings and experiences. Keep conversations balanced. Don't dominate the conversation or let it become one-sided. Be confident, not arrogant. There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, okay? I think we all know that. Just don't be over the top with you. Just just act normal. Just act down to earth with it. Respect time limits. If your date has to leave early, respect their schedule. Yeah, please. Because if people got to be somewhere early in the morning, they can, and they don't want to be out all night, and you only have one car that you drove together in. The other person might feel like they're being held hostage. So don't be mindful of that. That's important. Or maybe the other person doesn't feel comfortable. They might not tell you that, but they might want to go, and so just be mindful of that. Be mindful of alcohol consumption. Know your limits and drink responsibly. We all can understand that. Respect boundaries. If your date isn't comfortable with something, respect their wishes. That's simple. It might be uncomfortable, but just respect how they feel about it. Be genuine. Authenticity is attractive. Be yourself, not who you think your date wants you to be. That's very important. Yeah, that's just very important. Just be yourself. Be supportive. Offer encouragement for your date's goals and aspirations. If you get into conversations like that, just be positive about it. Whether you believe they can reach their goals or not, just stay positive with it. Practice good table manners. Chew with your mouth closed. Use utensils properly. I don't have to explain that. Avoid negative body language. No eye rolling, crossing arms, or other defensive gestures. So just be careful with that. Be mindful of personal space. Respect your date's physical boundaries. Okay? That's just that. I don't have to explain that. Don't compare. Please don't do that. Don't compare your date to some other person. That can throw the whole night off, okay? Don't do that. Don't interrupt. Allow your date to finish speaking before you respond, because some people, it takes them a few seconds to process. You don't want to step over what they're trying to say or what they're going to say. Offer help. If your date needs assistance, offer it graciously. That's real simple, okay? Stay engaged. Avoid distraction and stay present in the moment. If you're with somebody, then pay attention to that person that you're with, so they know that you're on the date with them and not looking for hookups for the next date or whatever. Be respectful of diversity. Embrace different cultures, backgrounds, and perspectives. Respect privacy. Don't pry into personal matters if your date isn't comfortable sharing. People may not want to tell you their personal business, especially when you're, at the beginning of the dating process. Let that kind of evolve, through time. Show appreciation, express gratitude for the effort your date put into planning or preparing for the date. That's, you don't need an explanation for that. Be mindful of your tone. Speak with kindness and respect. Handle rejection gracefully. If your date isn't interested, thank them for their honesty and move on. It's just as simple as that. Might sting a little bit if it's somebody that you like, but if they're not interested, then they're just not. So don't force that. Be responsible. Arrange for your own transportation to and from the date. Well, there we go. That's something to think about in case you want to exit. Be attentive to nonverbal cues. Pay attention to body language and facial expressions. That's very important. Avoid excessive self-disclosure, especially in the beginning. Don't overshare personal details too early. Don't do that. I think a lot of people make a mistake at doing that. Don't do that. Avoid rude jokes or comments. If you tell a joke and the other person gives you the impression that they didn't really like the joke, don't tell another joke. Your humor might not be appropriate for the person that you're with on that date. Be present and enjoy the moment. Be present and enjoy the company of your date. Okay. As I mentioned, once I get the channel built up, I won't be reading. I won't. We'll just be having a dialogue amongst each other and just talking about whatever we want to discuss. Okay. I'm just doing this to fill up time so that people can see that I'm going to be here, for them Friday and Saturday at 10 o'clock. Okay. That's all this is about. I want to be here to be a mentor for you in case you need somebody to talk to you. But then I also want to build this into a community where adults can, talk to each other back and forth, talk about whatever they want to, but just in a respectable manner. That's all. So right now I'm going to go over some social etiquette tips for women during the dating process, single women. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it off for tonight. Be punctual. Arrive on time for your date, to show respect for the other person's time. That's if, I don't need to explain that. Dress appropriately. Choose an outfit that is suitable for the occasion and venue. And ladies, I'm just going to suggest when you don't be too provocative. Be tasteful when you going on your date, especially when you first date. And I'm not saying don't have something that fits or anything, but just make sure it's not that it's tasteful. That's all. Show that you have some class and style about yourself, but be tasteful with it. Maintain good hygiene. Ensure you're clean and well groomed. Ladies, please do that. You don't need to explain that. And don't overdo the cologne or perfume. Just put a little bit on. You just want a hint of it. So if he's close to you, he can smell it, subtly. Smile and make eye contact. This is the same thing, for you all. It shows you're engaged and interested. Offer a sincere compliment. It helps break the ice and make your date feel appreciated. These are some of the same things that I discussed with the males. Avoid oversharing. Save more personal topics for later dates. Don't be out using your devices, because that makes people think that maybe there's somebody else you're communicating with that you have an eye on. So don't do that. We're just going over some of the same things. Be mindful of your body language too. I'm not going to go all the way through all of these. I'm just going to list them, because I think some of this is just like basically the same thing for the men. Watch your body language. Respect, personal space. Mind your manners. Avoid controversial topics. Be kind to the wait staff. There's nothing worse than somebody being rude to the waiters. Show gratitude. Be authentic. That's very important. Ladies, just be yourself. Don't overdo it. trying to pretend like you something that you're not. Just be normal, Don't dominate the conversation. Be supportive. Avoid excessive alcohol consumption. Offer to split the bill. Follow up after the date. And avoid playing games. Be honest and straightforward about your intentions. Respect the differences. Be positive and upbeat. That's very important, ladies. Smile. Look him in the eyes. Flirt with him a little bit. If it's somebody that you're really interested, show him a little bit, but just don't go overboard with it. Don't rush physical intimacy. If it's somebody, try to just, I understand how it goes. So I'm just throwing that out. I'm going to leave that because I've already talked about it, when it was dealing with the guys. Maintain a sense of humor. That's, I think that's very important. Having a sense of humor is very, very important. To me, it is. I personally wouldn't want to be with somebody who doesn't have a sense of humor and can't laugh and is too stoic. I just couldn't. I rather, that's just too stiff to laugh, Be mindful of your tone. Don't be all loud and stuff, Just keep it tame, You want him to hear you, but don't be just too loud. Respect your date's boundaries. Stay safe. Choose public places for dates and let someone know where you are, okay? Show appreciation for chivalry. If your date holds the door, say thank you, okay? Be thoughtful. Remember details your date shares with you, Don't compare your date to others. That's the worst thing you could do is start comparing somebody that you're going out on a date with somebody else. That's the worst thing you could do. So don't do that, please. Be confident, not arrogant. Most of these are repetitions. Express your opinions respectfully. Be flexible. Plans might change, and that's okay. That's okay. Avoid negative talk about exes. Don't bring them up. Don't even bring them up if you can keep from it, And if you do bring them up, don't get into too much dialogue about all the negative traits, Just say it didn't work out or whatever and leave it, And maybe if you feel you must, just give a brief explanation. You don't go too deep into it. Respect your date's time. If he needs to end early, be understanding about it because he might have to leave early. Or maybe he just is not interested and he just wants to get out of there. But still be respectful about that. Be honest about your feelings. Communicate openly but kindly. Respect your date's independence. They have a life outside of dating too, so be respectful of that. Don't rush to label things. Don't do that. Just take your time so y'all can get to know each other, Be organic with it, Be mindful of social media. I understand that. I'm trying to build my channel up, so I might be a little unorthodox with some of the things I'm doing. But you gotta be careful with that. Showing appreciation for thoughtful gestures. Be a good sport. If you're participating in the activity, be positive and cooperative, okay? If you are rejected, then just, be gracious about it. Just accept it. And, if it feels like it's going okay, if you feel confident enough, take the initiative to see if there's going to be another date. And be mindful of too much information. Save your details for later in the relationship, okay? Don't criticize or nitpick. Focus on the positive aspects of the date. And be respectful of privacy. Don't push your date to share more than they're comfortable with, especially in the beginning, you know, because they have some stuff that might have that they had dealt with, they are not ready to share with you. And trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, listen to your gut, okay? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end it for tonight. I just really want to thank you for spending time with me. And I'm going to be here on Fridays and Saturdays, every Friday and Saturday up until December the 30th at 10 p.m. And, you know, this channel is meant to be an opportunity for people to come together and adults to have adult conversation in a respectable manner. So I'm a one-man show right now, but I'm going to still keep coming, you know, on to live. And, you know, until it gets built up. Anyway, don't forget one thing. Smile. This day anyway. And reach one person at a time. One person at a time. One person at a time. Okay? Have a good day.